Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. You hear that theme song. Welcome to episode 9 of Highly Opinionated. I'm your co-host Josh. That's Tim.
Hey, what's good with
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
you? I'm good, man. I'm good. Ready to get the show started, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the best producer in the game, the guy that makes us look good. Ross, what's up, my brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you feeling, Josh?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. Good weekend of football. Ready to recap and ready to make some predictions for next week, man.
Yeah, I agree. It was a great weekend of football, and my Ravens got the win. So I'm definitely ready to get this show started.
Absolutely. This is the first time ever I can say this on this show. But ladies and gentlemen, if y'all followed our BYP, Build Your Parlay picks, every pick was correct. So the gentleman at the bottom of the screen, Mr. Ross, every pick was correct on his parlay. The gentleman to the right of me, Tim, the best co-host in the game, every prediction was right on his parlay. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know I stick to my three. So you can't go wrong. You can't. It's hard to mess up three-leg parlay. So hopefully we got you guys some money. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all pay attention. Y'all been asking for this. We giving y'all the picks, giving y'all the winnings. Make sure y'all take full advantage of
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up because that's big for us. The
it.
first
Absolutely.
week of the show. And on that note, of course, since we're not doing the videos anymore, if you want to go see our parlays every Friday, go on our Instagram at highly opinionated __ and on X is highly O_SS. And like you said, we got all our clips. We updated. We got all our picks every Friday. So yeah, definitely follow us. Comment. We gonna comment back. Yeah.
As you guys can see, we invite the guests on, whether it's our first guest, John, Kevin, Snoop, etc. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys for your support. And if you disagree, like I said, we're more than happy to have you on. Friend of Adam, friend of Ross, friend of Tim, friend of me, whoever, etc. Come on. Let's see what you got, man. Let's make it happen. But for the meantime, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. And also, like I said, BYP. Make sure you guys follow them parlays, man. We're trying to get some money in you guys' pocket.
Yes, sir.
Pockets, I should say. Tim, you ready to get it popping, my brother?
Yeah, let's get it, man.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Week 7 recap. College football. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Week 7 college recap. Week 7 college football recap. We picked 3 games. Let's go over them. The first game that we will go over is number 1 Texas. They definitely show why they're the number 1 team in the country. They beat Oklahoma 34-3. Started off as a defensive game for Texas. Quinn Ewers, first game back in a couple games. He started off rusty. But as you can see, Texas, they scored 34 points, so the offense got to go on. The defense was stifling. Texas won 34-3. What was your thought process on this game, my brother?
I mean, you basically recapped it pretty well. Like, started off a little slow. You were started off a little slow going because he ain't playing 3 weeks. So, you know what I'm saying? It took some time for the offense to get going, but the defense was stifling. I didn't really like Oklahoma game plan. Like I told y'all last week, they probably need to do 2 to 3 trick plays. They didn't do that. They just tried to
No,
line it up.
no, no. I didn't see any trick plays.
Yeah, they just tried to line up with him, which wasn't a good idea with a freshman quarterback. So they got destroyed. So you know what I'm saying? I thought it would be a little closer because I thought they would get creative, but Texas
Yeah,
Texas did what they were supposed to do.
we was telling people take the 14, like take the points. I said take
Yeah,
Texas, take Oklahoma plus 17-20. They lost by 31.
yeah.
Quinn Ewers was 20-29, 199 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Wiseman, the running back, 13 attempts, 118 yards, a touchdown. He averaged 9 yards per rush. Michael Hawkins Jr., the freshman quarterback for Oklahoma, he was 19-30, 148 yards. It was Oklahoma fans was talking about they should have put Jackson Arnold back in the game, the guy that got benched for Michael Hawkins Jr. So Oklahoma doesn't have a good quarterback situation right now, and it's definitely shown when they play good teams. The next game that we'll go over is number 3 Penn State. They went out to USC and got a good win in overtime, 33-30. I actually thought Penn State was going to lose that game, but they found a way to win. Shout out to James Franklin. You got a big win on the road. Go ahead, Tim. The floor is yours.
Yeah, so this game, man, my homeboy was texting me like, "Well, you told me Penn State was going to win. They was down 26. He was getting nervous." I said, "Relax, relax. There's lot of game left. There's a lot of game left. Like, relax. It was early, you know what I'm saying?" So,
Very, very
man,
early.
it was very early, man. They gave up some explosive plays, and when you give up explosive plays, yo, the score changed quickly. But that tight end from um my bad. That tight end from Penn State was going crazy. My boy had Tyler Warren had 17 catches for 244 yards. I haven't seen
Say
a
that again.
tight end
He had how many catches
17 catches
in
for
a game?
200 in one game and 244 yards. I haven't seen a tight end performance like that my whole life. That was a crazy performance. Like that was one of the rare performances from a tight end. And he definitely, I don't know how many draft boards he was on before that game, but he definitely raised some eyes that game. And shout out to James Franklin, man. I've been saying you needed a big win for the program, man. And you got one, man. And it was a comeback fashion, which make it even looks even better because a lot of people was writing y'all off early in the game, man. So shout out to
This
Penn
man,
State.
this man said, I ain't never seen a performance like that ever in my life, ever. Like never, ever, ever, ever.
From a
That's
tight
funny.
end, nah, I ain't never seen it
Yeah,
from a tight end.
17 catches. Yo, the
From
man
a
had
tight end.
224 yards. That's crazy. The one play, I know you probably watched the game. He lined up as they had a trick play. He lined up at center and caught the pass. I'm like, bro, god damn, you nice.
My man said, was that even legal?
That had to be some. That's some Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, New England Patriots type offense. That's definitely something.
Oklahoma should have ran something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Scored a
like,
little,
yeah, they could
do
have scored
something.
10 points. They could have scored
You
10
know what I'm
points. Not so. Yeah, they would have been fine.
saying? Do something.
Drew Allen, 30 of 43 at 391 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. Was putting the ball in harm's way, but when you throw the ball 41 times, you're gonna have interceptions. When we get to an NFL game later on that we picked from last week. So uh, Penn State really couldn't run the ball. Katron Allen really couldn't get it going. Nicholas Singleton really couldn't get it going. So it was on Drew Allen back, and he got it done. It's a bad home loss for Lincoln Riley. You remember I told you before this game he was 5-7 before that game played. Now he's 5-8 in this last. Now he's 5-8 in this last 13 games. So not a good win for USC. USC is 1-3 in conference, and every game that they lost, they had a chance to win at Michigan, at Minnesota, and then this game at home against Penn State. But for Penn State, looking good for them. These guys are 6-0, 3-0 in the conference. No, they don't have to play Ohio. They don't have to play Michigan this season. Their toughest remaining game is at home against Ohio State. So Penn State set themselves up well. Penn State could be in the just looking at it now, Penn State could be in the Big Ten championship game. Speaking of the Big Ten championship game, it brings us to the last game that we picked. And ladies and gentlemen, I think this was the best game of the season. No disrespect to Alabama and Georgia. Oregon beat Ohio State in Oregon 32-31. I think this game was a classic. Hopefully these two teams can play each other at least one more time again in the Big Ten championship. Dylan Gabriel was 23 of 34, 341 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. I don't think he's gonna win, but I think he made his Heisman moment. He was accurate, he was precise. He did what he needed to do for Oregon to win the game. Let me give some love to Will Howard. Will Howard played well. He was 28 of 35, 326 yards, 2 touchdowns. His top two receivers, they balled out. Jeremiah Smith, 9 catches, 100 yards and a touchdown. Emeka Ibuka, 10 catches, 93 yards and a touchdown. All the stars came out to play for Oregon and Ohio State. A classic, 32-31.
Yeah, this game was interesting because like the way it started, it was like a back and forth, and then it was two plays that changed the game for me. So the first one was the onside kick. I love that
Yes,
onside kick call
yes,
for Oregon. Like
yes.
that's what I be trying to tell you. When a coach trying to win the game, you see different things to win the game, and that gave them an extra possession. Oklahoma, yeah, I should have been watching. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, this is a lot of things y'all should have been doing. But onside kick, and then the other play that changed the game was Ohio State. I want to say it was Jeremiah Love. I can't remember. They was on the
Jeremiah Smith.
fringe of Jeremiah Smith. My fault. They was on the fringe of field goal range, and he got an offensive pass interference. It was no need to push the D
Took
back
him, took
and
him out of field goal range.
took him out of field goal range, and that's the play that really killed them because they was already in pretty. I mean, college kickers they're a little suspect, but they're a little bit more comfortable range, and that just put them out. And then the play by Will Howard, he was
At
in
the
a
end of the
bad
game,
spot, man.
talking about the end of the game, right?
Yeah, in the game, last play, he was in a bad spot because it was like 10 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. He dropped back, tried to look, made his first two reads, look, didn't see nobody, then tried to take off. The only problem was it was in the middle of the field. So like even if he got down, they wouldn't have got they wouldn't have got down. He had to run that many yards to get in comfortable field goal range. Because if he ain't run that far, you know what I'm saying? Who knows where that kicker might have kicked the
And,
ball
and
backwards.
if I'm not mistaken, they didn't have any timeouts left.
If I'm not mistaken, I want to say they had one because I think
One.
he was trying to call timeout. You know what I'm saying? Like they was
As the
trying to
clock
call it.
was
Yeah,
expiring.
as it was expiring. I want to say they had one. But
Okay.
yeah, that was a great game. That was game of the year for me. And shout out to Oregon, man. We both picked Oregon. Shout out to Oregon.
Yeah, our text chain was going crazy. And if you don't mind, Tim, you know I don't share messages, but if you don't mind, I'll share this
Yeah,
part.
go ahead.
You was like, Ohio State tripping. At the end of the game, he was like, OSU tripping. They're like, what are they doing? Like, so we agree on that. Will Howard, I didn't think they had one time out left. I appreciate you, brother. That's why I love doing this show with you. You're a football coach, you're a football mind, you know the game, sports mind in general, but definitely football is your expertise. So, but yeah, it was a great game, and I just hope, Tim, I hope they can play again, man. I hope they can play
Yeah,
again
I definitely would like to see that.
for the right to get the first round bye for the Big Ten. Because I think, I don't know where you stand on this, but I think Oregon and Ohio State are the two best teams in the Big Ten.
Oh yeah, big. Yeah,
Okay, all right, bro. Okay,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
now Penn State's in there. They undefeated. We just went over them. They in there.
Yeah.
But
I
I
don't.
think Ohio State and
I'm still
Oregon
not
is just
so.
a tad bit better.
Yeah, I'm still not so all the way on Drew Aller. So I agree those two teams are better.
Got you. Well, that was our Week 7 recap of college football. Week 8. Let's go through these games. Let's pick these games. Week 8 preview of college football. It's not a festival week as it was last week where you had game after game, time slot after time slot. Obviously, the 3 games that we picked we'll go over, but I want to show I want to show some love to a couple games. Nebraska and Indiana. Nebraska's 5-1. Indiana's 6-0, 3-0 in the Big Ten. That's a huge game in the Big Ten. Notre Dame, number 12, Notre Dame go to Georgia Tech. Notre Dame is 5-1. Georgia Tech is 5-2. Georgia Tech beat Florida State the first game of the season in Ireland. So we obviously know what Georgia Tech can be. Same time slot, 3:30, CBS. Number 24, Michigan. Number 22, Illinois. That's a big game. Because right now, Michigan and Illinois, they both 2-1 in the conference. So, you know, right there, you still have a chance, an outside chance of getting to the Big Ten championship if losses start to happen and things start to go your way. So that's definitely a big game. And the last game before we start going over the 3 games that we'll pick, number 8, LSU at Arkansas. That's a big game. We saw with Tennessee went to Arkansas. Arkansas beat Tennessee. LSU is coming off a big, huge win last Saturday night in Death Valley against Ole Miss. So let's see what type of LSU team we get. If LSU come in there sleepwalking, Arkansas can beat those guys. So another great week of college football. It's not as good as last week, but another great week of college football.
Definitely.
The first game we'll preview, number 6, Miami at Louisville, 12 o'clock. That game is on ABC. Who you like, Tim?
So I've been watching Cam Ward just so I can see some things, right? So I've been watching. He missed like a lot of easy throws to me. Like he misses, like we call them layups. Like he misses a little bit too many layups for me. And the Miami defense, man, I don't know if they play defense in Miami right now. I don't know if that's a thing. So with that being said, man, I'm gonna go with Louisville at home with the upset, man. I think showing them score enough points. Their defense isn't the greatest neither, but I think they get enough stops at home. The crowd rallies behind them, and I like Louisville with the upset, man.
Louisville with the upset. I am taking, you know it. I'm taking the U, baby. Give me Miami. I get what you're saying. The defense is suspect. I think this will be a high-scoring game because Miami defense is they left their defense in Florida. Too bad the game is in Kentucky. But I think Cam Ward is steadily making his Heisman claim, keeping these guys in games, keeping this team in the playoff hunt. I will say this: Miami needs to get that act together because there's a team in the ACC that I think they'll play in the ACC championship. Shout out to Dabo Sweeney and I'm sorry, brother Dabo Sweeney. Shout out to the Clemson Tigers. I think Miami, they need to get that act together because I think they'll play Clemson in the ACC championship game. But as far as this game against Miami and Louisville, give me the U. I think Miami will win. Give me Cam Ward, Damian Martinez, the running back. I love what those guys have. Rasperado, the wide receiver. 32 catches, 585 yards, 5 touchdowns on the season. So I like Miami. Miami's been finding ways to win. I compare Miami to the Atlanta Falcons in the NFL. Atlanta just find ways to win. They beat the Eagles. Yeah, Eagles. They beat my Bucks. They should have lost both of those games, but they find ways to win. Miami should have lost to Virginia Tech. They should have lost at Cal, but they find ways to win. The mark of a good team is finding ways to win. Miami will find a way to win Saturday, 12 o'clock on ABC. The next game that we'll go over is number 7, Alabama, at number 11, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a matchup between my team and I shouldn't say Tim's team because Tim liked Florida State, but he said at earlier point in the season he thought Tennessee was the best team. Reluctantly, I'm going to take Alabama. I did not like what I saw Saturday at home against South Carolina. But to me, this is an elimination game, as it was for Ole Miss and LSU. LSU survived and advanced to another week. I think Alabama, Jalen Milroe, will survive and advance to another week. I think they will, when I say eliminate, they'll eliminate Tennessee from making a 12-team playoff. Give me Alabama.
So me, this game comes down to stopping Milroe running. I still don't believe his passing game is that elite. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think Tennessee has the defense in place to stop Milroe. Their offense, Tennessee offense, has been a little lackluster the past 2 weeks, which is a little nerve wracking. But at home, I think the offense gets a jolt versus a Bama defense that doesn't look relative to what they normally look like. So with that being said, I like Tennessee to. I'm not gonna say Bama would be eliminated. They might still have a shot depending on who loses above them or whatever. But give me Tennessee at home, man. I think they get the dub. I think they play better defense and offensively they just won't make enough plays.
Yeah, we disagree on Jalen Milroe as a passer. I think Jalen Milroe is a better passer than what you give him credit for. I think he'll show that Saturday. I think Alabama. I don't think Alabama win the championship because they do have deficiencies that are holding back from the championship. But what I will say is that I like Caleb DeBoer and I like his system and I like the system that he has for Jalen Milroe. I think Jalen Milroe has played better this season than he played last season under Nick Saban. So I like Alabama. I think Alabama is the better team. Tennessee should have lost at home to Florida if we want to keep it 100. They really should have lost at home to Florida. And Florida's an average is nice. They're a below average team. They might be the worst team in the conference. So with that being said, like I said, give me Alabama. Tim, it seems like every week we could make a case. This is the game of the year. Third week, let's try. Number 5, Georgia at number 1, Texas. 7:30 ABC. Chris Flower, Kurt Herbstreit, Holly Rowe on the call. Another candidate for the game of the year. I am going to I like Georgia to win this game. Give me Georgia to win the game. I think Georgia, they have to win the game. Texas is undefeated in conference. So Georgia is 3-1 in conference. Texas is 2-0 in conference. Georgia, with that loss at Alabama, every game is definitely magnified now. I think Carson Beck, Trevor Etienne, the running back. I think those guys find a way to get a win on the road. Give me Georgia over Texas.
So to me, just like Alabama, Georgia has the same deficiencies defensively to me. Like they didn't look well when they played Bama in space. They didn't look well versus Kentucky. They had another game they struggled with. Like it's like either the teams are catching up or just the brand of what we used to from Alabama and Georgia teams is not the same. And it might be a mixture of both. So with that being said, man, I think Texas win at home, man. And anybody that know me, like when Florida State get knocked out, I normally go over the, you know what I'm saying, the Bulldogs and rock with Kirby and them. But man, yeah, Texas. I don't know if y'all should have added Texas. Y'all should have left them alone, man. But
Mm.
yeah. So give me Texas, man. I like yours. Yours. I mean, I think what's the name? Travis Hunter got hurt, so he probably, I don't know how long Hunter out, but it was probably on the fast track to the Heisman, man. So he gonna have. I feel like he's gonna have more bet not better, that's not the word, more quality opponent games. Whereas though Travis, you know what I'm saying, he playing that conference, so he's not gonna be able to play versus a number 5, number 17, number 18 each and every week. So I think he will have more Heisman candidate moments. So yeah, I like Quentin Ewers in Texas.
Okay. Well, all 3 games we disagree. So we're gonna have to see. We'll see what this week in college football brings us. And we'll see who's right at the end of the week. Let's see how we go, bro.
Sure.
Take a quick break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Highly Opinionated, ladies and gentlemen. Week 6 NFL recap. We picked 3 games. Let's go over those 3 games, starting with the Baltimore Ravens. The battle of, what you call it? The battle of the Yos and the Moles. Is that what you call it, Tim?
Yos and the Moles. Yos and the
Yos and the
Moles.
Moles. So I think that, so Baltimore, they would be the Yos, right? Baltimore one?
Yeah, they the
Yos.
Yos.
Yeah, okay. So the Yos beat the Moles. The Ravens beat the Commanders 30-23. Very impressive game for both quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels, 24-35, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Lamar Jackson's 20-26, 323 yards, 1 touchdown, one interception. The interception that was thrown hit Mark Andrews right in the hands. He did lead him a little bit too much, but still hit the receiver in his hands. I felt Mark Andrews should have caught that. It was a great game. The Baltimore Ravens, I feel like they were the better team. Derrick Henry, 24 carries, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zay Flowers, he did all his production in the first half, 9 catches, 132 yards. The Baltimore Ravens are now 4-2. Washington Commanders are 4-2. What was your thought process on this game, my brother?
So I didn't watch this game a whole lot because I actually paid my Sunday ticket. So I was free to watch anything this week. So I didn't really want to watch the game. I picked Washington with the upset. I kind of knew Baltimore probably would win at home, but sometimes you gotta throw an upset pick in it. But from what I did see, like Washington, man, they secondary is terrible. Like it's just routine stuff that they just get wrong. Like it's bad position and bad everything on in the secondary. But good one for the Ravens. They got Henry in the running game going, so team's gonna have to slow that down. But yeah, that's my take. Daniels actually look pretty good still, so it don't look like it's a fluke. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Ravens though. They got the dub.
Yes, the Ravens did get the win. Jaden Daniels looked good. I thought he looked good the whole season. I do think the Commanders are part fluke though. Their defense, like you said, is terrible. They couldn't rush the ball Sunday. Jaden Daniels was the lead rusher. He had 22 yards. Austin Eckler had 21 yards. Now Brian Robinson didn't play. Obviously, Brian Robinson, in my opinion, is that best running back. So obviously that matters. Yeah. Zach Ertz, had 4 catches, 68 yards. So I do think the Commanders are part, I don't want to say frauds, but I do think they have fraudulent tendencies. What I mean by that is their defense is not that good. They really can't stop the run. They really can't stop the pass. That secondary has a bunch of young guys in it. Mike Sanders he's a rookie from Michigan. He actually starts in the secondary. So I don't think the Commanders are that good. I don't think the Commanders are going to make the playoffs this season. That's just my opinion. I think next season when they add to the roster, add defensive pieces and more offensive pieces, I think this team can contend in that NFC East that you call home. Next game that we'll go over is the LA Chargers and the Denver Broncos. Ladies and gentlemen, I picked this game because I thought this game was an elimination game. And I still feel like this was an elimination game. I thought the Chargers did what they had to do. Jim Harbaugh off a bye. I thought he was great. Justin Herbert was 21-34, 237 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. J.K. Dobbins, 25 attempts, 96 yards, and a touchdown run. Justin Herbert threw the ball 34 times. The Chargers ran the ball 34 times. I felt like Justin Herbert passes should have been down even more, about 30 attempts this game. I get your point. Obviously, you want the quarterback to pass the ball. You pass the ball, you get your money, you earn your stats, fine. The Chargers didn't need to throw the ball 34 times against the Broncos. The Chargers had this game, in my opinion, won early in the first quarter. They were up 20-0 before the Broncos even scored. In the second quarter, the Chargers were up 20-0. So in fact, the Chargers were up 23-0. The Chargers didn't do their scoring until the fourth quarter. So
Broncos.
excuse me. I'm sorry. The Broncos didn't do their scoring until the fourth quarter. The Chargers won the first quarter 10-0. They won the second quarter 10-0. They won the third quarter 3-0. I love this tactic by Jim Harbaugh. Ground and pound, play defense, be physical. We know Justin Herbert can pass the ball and can make the plays. Cool. Let's get physical. Let's ground and pound so we can add that to what Justin Herbert has. Jim Harbaugh off a bye week. I love it. Shout out to the Chargers.
Yeah, this game. So I think this was the best offensively called game they had all this year because they started the game off in the air. Like that ground and pound stuff sounds good, but like versus better teams, which is why they have 2 losses. If they would have started the game off throwing the ball, it opens up the run lanes more. And they had a great balance this game, which makes sense because they actually threw the ball. So rush lanes actually get open the more receiving threats you have. So Palmer got some catches, McConkey got some catches, Johnson got some catches. So like he doesn't have to pass the ball like he used to, but they definitely, if they want to win a playoff game, they definitely had to pass the ball because that ground and pound, it didn't work. It didn't work versus the Chiefs, didn't work versus the Steelers. So that's really not the formula. And I'm not paying him $200 million just to hand the ball off. You might as well get me if you want somebody to hand the ball off. Call me. I can hand the ball off right and left. So I think this formula will get them. Wait, I'm not gonna lie. If they keep playing like this, like with the pass first, like it's not even pass first mentality. It's just being a little bit more aggressive. They keep playing like this, they could actually contend for a Super Bowl this year because the Chiefs are not the same, and then every other team in the AFC has glaring holes. So like they actually could contend for a Super Bowl if they actually continue this form. Shout out to Chargers and good game.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be your resident Chargers realist, unlike my co-hosts, because they're not competing for a Super Bowl this year. That's unrealistic. I like I said, ground and pound. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim wants to make you seem like the Chargers are just gonna pass the ball and their lead receiver had 40.
Say that.
No, I'm okay. Tim wants to make you think throwing the ball is weird. Where their lead receiver had 44 yards. Like I said, ground and pound. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards didn't play. Gus Edwards did not play. They had Hassan Haskins. They didn't even have that second best running back. So again, ground and pound. This Chargers team is not no Super Bowl contender, ladies and gentlemen. They're not. I don't care what you hear, what you think. They're not a Super Bowl contender. Ground and pound. Let's get physicality back with the LA Chargers. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody that's been a Chargers fans can tell you that one of the many things that's been lacking with them is physicality. Let's get physicality back. Let's run the ball. Let's play good defense. The Chargers gave up 16 points. That's great defense. Great defense. You can win games in the NFL by playing defense. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to let my co-host get away with that. Before Kansas City became Kansas City played the team in the AFC Championship game that ran the ball and played good defense. That was the Tennessee Titans. Okay, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, the Super Bowl, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes won his first Super Bowl. He played against Jimmy G. Ladies and gentlemen, how did Jimmy G get to the Super Bowl? Ran the ball, they played good defense. Now, can you win the Super Bowl by playing that? The jury is still out on that. I'll give you that. But this Chargers team is not winning the Super Bowl with this current team this year. They have no number 1 receiver. You can make a case they have no number 2 receiver. Ground and pound, play defense, be physical. Let's improve this team. Let's let the NFL know that when you play the Chargers, you got to bring your hard hat. You don't need to bring no soft hat. Bring your hard hat. And I think that Jim Harbaugh will get that done. And I like what I'm seeing from the Chargers. Ground and pound, baby.
Yeah, so to rebuttal that, like I said, the better balance with the pass and run. You're not going ground and pound to win nothing. So that's irrelevant. The Tennessee, they got exposed. That's why they lost to the Ravens the following year when they just ground and pound. They found out Tannehill can't throw the ball, so they lost. Same thing with Jimmy G. They was up big.
I can't say a team got exposed and went to the AFC Championship game. I can't say that.
They did. They never passed that point. So like I said, the Chargers, once again, they played the Chiefs tough this year. They lost by 7 points. So if everybody has the Chiefs as the best team in the league, if you only hold them to 17 and you only ran the ball, if you pass the ball, it seems like you could get further. So, like I said, don't believe this ground and pound bull crap. Ask the Ravens how this ground and pound works because
They
they
played.
lose
They
every
played.
game.
They played in the AFC Championship game last year. Wait, if you don't mind me asking, if you don't
And
mind me asking,
what's the common denominator
yeah,
in
yeah,
both
yeah,
of
yo,
those
yo, yo,
teams? They
yo, that's
lost.
great. That
So
yo,
once
Tim, that's
again,
great, bro. That's
once
great.
again,
Tim, when the last time the Chargers been past the second round? Yeah, that's great, bro. I digress. Let's move forward. I digress.
we talked
You're
about
not,
that
yo,
before, bro.
you can win.
Injuries and all that. We talked about that. We talked
You can
about that.
make the playoffs. You can win a playoff game by ground and pound. Don't listen to
You
this
got bigger
bullshit. That's
goals than
straight
just making the
bullshit. Y'all
playoffs
know it.
with a team like
Y'all
this.
know it.
You
And I
could do
know it.
more.
Yeah, this
You could do
Chargers team
more
ain't.
with a team
This
like this to
Chargers
make the
team ain't
playoffs.
doing more, and you know that. I need you to be realistic about this team and stop lying to people.
Bro, what teams in the
This
AFC
Chargers
are
team is
that
not
great?
going to do nothing. You
What
know
teams
that.
in the AFC are that great? What teams in the AFC can't they
Not
beat?
them. Not them. Not the Chargers. They not great. They lost to Justin Fields.
Okay.
They lost to
What
Justin
team is
Fields.
great?
So they're
Why
not
did
great.
they lose to Justin Fields?
Because their starting quarterback got hurt. That's why they lost to Justin Fields. The starting
because they
quarterback
was
got hurt.
grounding and pounding. They was
Okay,
grounding and pounding, getting
that's why.
negative yards on first and second down.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna say this: when Justin Herbert got hurt, the score was 7-7. You don't think Justin Herbert better than when Justin Herbert got hurt?
They was grounded. The offense didn't look.
I digress.
The offense didn't look good. JD, that's the first game he has over more than 150 passing yards. So if you think that 150 passing yards is going to ground and pound them to a playoff win, you're smoking some real
I never
dice.
said 150 yards to get it done. I'm saying that being physical.
That's what ground and pound is.
It's not. No, it's not. That's your thought process.
No. How you gonna say it's not? For the first 4 weeks, that was the formula. It's not. No, it's not. That was the specific formula. He was going for 150 yards or less. That was the formula. It's not. No, it's not. That was their formula. They actually let him throw the ball this week, and the offense looked better.
Ladies and gentlemen, I love my co-host. He's great. This is what Tim does. When the offense, when you have a quarterback, when he starts turning the ball over, he's going to blame the offensive coordinator. The offense is not right. Now, grounding and pounding.
I got to cut you off. That's a lie.
With grounding and pounding, ladies and gentlemen, you can't blame nobody. You get physical with the offensive line. Your wide receiver start blocking. Your tight end start blocking. It's nothing wrong with
grounding and pounding.
Don't let this.
I don't blame the offense.
That's straight foolishness.
I don't blame the offensive coordinator for quarterback
Okay,
turning
Tim.
the ball over.
Okay. You're right. Hey, Tim, what's the problem with the Eagles?
The scheme. They're not schemed correctly.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next game, we went over. We picked Tampa Bay and the Saints. Tampa Bay destroyed the Saints, 51-27. Baker Mayfield, 24-36, 325 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. They played against a rookie, Tim, Spencer Rattler. I'm sure if you knew they was playing Spencer Rattler, you would have picked the Bucks. I mean, obviously, it's a rookie. You would have known. Obviously, we didn't know that picking the game, so I don't even hold that against you, my brother. Spencer Rattler, 22 of 40, 243 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 5 times. Sean Tucker, a guy that we didn't even hear of. We didn't even know. We had to look up. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Tucker went to Calvin Hall College, best high school in the world. Shout out to him. He had 14 carries, 136 yards and a touchdown. Bucky Irvin, 14 attempts, 81 yards and a touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 13 attempts, 40 yards, 1 touchdown. Simply put, the Bucks are just a better team. They played against a rookie quarterback. We're not going to get too high, not going to get too low. They played against a rookie quarterback. They lost Chris Olave. He got hurt with a concussion. He fumbled the ball, got hurt with a concussion. He lost. So they didn't have their best playmaker. They had a rookie quarterback. The Bucks should have won this game. I'm actually disappointed that they were up 17-0. The Saints scored 27 points in the second quarter alone. By a bad turnover by Baker, bad interception. The underthrow you was talking about, the Mike Evans, that was a terrible throw. The other 2 interceptions, in my opinion, weren't his fault. They got tipped, so things happen. The last interception actually grazed the guy off his helmet. So, congratulations to the Bucks. I will say this: the Bucks cannot play like they played against the Saints in order to beat their next opponent, which is the Baltimore Ravens next Monday night. Can't do it.
Yeah, to wrap this game up, man, the Saints couldn't tackle, man. They made Bucky Irvin look like Michael James at Oregon. Sean Tucker, I actually knew who he was. I watched him at Syracuse. I didn't know he was from here though. Sean Tucker, he was physical at Syracuse, so I remember his game. Saints couldn't tackle him, man. But shout out to Bucks. You get a road win in your division is always big. So shout out to Bucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to your Chargers. Road win in the division on the road, no matter how you get them. Just like the Falcons, they beat Carolina. Get a road win in the division, no matter how you get it, rock out. So take what you can take and let's go at it from there. So Tim, our week 6 takeaways. What are your takeaways from week 6, my brother?
My first one, man. I was like I said, man. I was watching that 4 o'clock Chargers game, and I said, finally. Either they listen to the show or somebody buzzed in his ear. He letting the boy throw. Please let the boy throw. Just let him throw. If you ain't gonna let him throw, just go get Will Levis or somebody, trade him away, and just rock like that. You know what I'm saying? You want a game manager?
Tim, why can't they run the ball, bro?
If you want a game manager, get a game. They still run the
You
ball.
don't have to be a game manager to run the ball.
That's all I'm saying. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying they don't need to run the ball at all. I'm saying, like you said, they had 34 passes, 34 rushes. I just needed more balance. I don't need 40 rushes, 20 passes. That's what I'm saying.
I give you that.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, you definitely need a run game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that at all. I just like the balance. Like, the balance of the game look good to me. That's why I'm saying they could be, to me, you don't think they could be a contender. I get it. But I'm saying, to me, you could be a real contender if you keep that balance. So that's one of my first takeaways. I love they opened up the game. I want to say he had 4 to 5 throws in the, you know what I'm saying, like first 7 to 8 plays. So I was like, yes, they're throwing the ball. So that's my first one, man. And I told y'all, man, the Texans with Joe Mixon, I'm not gonna say he's the best player on the offense, but he's the key to the offense, bro. Like he had 13 carries, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like Nico Collins got hurt. That's a key loss, but you still got Stephon Diggs. So like it's like he's the real engine because if you can't stop him running, you know what I'm saying? It's less stress on Stroud. So to me, Joe Mixon is the most important player. I ain't gonna say most valuable, most important player to that team. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Detroit. I know it's the Cowboys, right? So I feel like the Cowboys are going to be up and down all year. Me and my co-host JD, we talked about that. We felt like they didn't filling roster holes in the off season. They didn't get a running back. They didn't get linebackers. They didn't do a lot of stuff that I just didn't understand. But I was happy as an Eagles fan that they did. So so I'm not really mad at them. I'm just saying. But I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Detroit looks dangerous. Like defensively, they can stop the run. Pass defense isn't the greatest, but offensively, they hard to stop. It's just a lot of weapons and how they use motions and things of that nature. Like I don't know why more teams don't use motions because it seems like people get confused with motions and things of that nature. People be running free. You seen a lot of free runners in that Detroit Cowboys game last week. Eagles the coordinators. I don't know if y'all watching or listening, but can we get some motions, some drag intermediate routes? Like every time Hurts drops back, it's either a bomb to AJ or a cross to the Devontae. Like you gotta be a little bit more versatile with what we got. But Detroit look dangerous, man. I wouldn't want to see them right now. They got a big game coming up. Also, man, Titans, man. Boy, Will Levis might be the worst quarterback I have ever watched. Like, like, like. I think he might even be worse than Mark Sanchez. Like when I watch Will Levis, it's like he can't even.
Mark Sanchez with the 2 straight AFC Championship game.
Yeah, but we know what that was. He was
I
a
know
great
what
game
that was.
manager.
Damn, Will Levis ain't never gonna do that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And you know, Mark Sanchez is really known for a butt fumble. So you know what I'm saying? That's what his career they remember him for. But when I say Will Levis is awful, like this like he about to get that coach fired in a year because how bad he was. I don't know why they let Malik Willis go after 8 games as a starter. It don't make sense to me. But Will Levis is really bad. Like really, like all they losses you could really pin on a terrible turnover from him versus the Jets. They should have beat the Jets. This boy threw the ball. I like Will Levis is bad. Like he is bad for the game. Bad. Like he is like he got people on the couch thinking they can play quarterback. That's how bad. One of the worst defenses yesterday. He threw for 95 yards.
Oh shit! This man said he bad. He bad for the game.
95 yards. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. I didn't see it coming out of.
Hey, Tim. Come on, man. This your Will Levis rank. Do it right. Say what Will Levis is. Say what it is.
I be trying to be professional, so I try.
Say what he
Trying
is,
to keep
Tim.
my
No,
I
say what
try
it
to keep
is,
my
Tim.
language to a certain level. But
Okay.
look, Will Levis, that's not it, man. Y'all like and they got weapons. Like he got Tyler Boyd, he got what's my boy name? DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin
Calvin Ridley.
like Tony Pollard, and he got a backup running back, can't think of the name. Like, yo, it's no reason.
Spears the backup running back.
It's no reason they should be that bad. Like, yo, he's terrible, man. He's terrible, man. I hope this get back to his people because normally when I talk about somebody, they start playing better. So hopefully
Yeah.
somebody send this to his people, and you know what I'm saying. He start playing better than I'm one of them people. You make me look like a fool. I shout you out the next week. So you know what I'm saying. Those are my 4 takeaways from this week.
Your takeaway is okay. I'm gonna piggyback off your takeaway. My first takeaway: Will Levis is ass. That's what he is. Tim don't want to say it. Tim's so nice, so diplomatic. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all saw we just went back and forth. Tim is so cool and calm. He's a great guy. That's why I got mad. Will Levis is ass. Okay, that's the biggest takeaway. Put a star by that takeaway. If he's starting on your team as your quarterback, you ain't got no fucking chance. Because you ain't no chance in hell you winning the game. He is ass. Will Levis, ass. Cool. Now, let me get to my real takeaway. I'm sorry, Tim. You're right. He is terrible, bro. You're right. Everything you said about him is right. The Jets, they would have fired Robert Saleh a week before if it wasn't for Will
You know
Levis.
what I'm saying?
Lord have mercy. Ass. Now, my real first takeaway. Joe Flacco is the best quarterback for the Colts, and he would have been the best quarterback on the Browns. I don't understand. Like, the Colts are better with Joe Flacco than they are with Anthony Richardson. Don't get me started about that shit show that's going on in Cleveland. You watched the Eagles and the Browns. I'm sure you did, so you saw what you need to see. If the Colts want to be serious about making the playoffs this year, which they are 3-3, and they are in the contention in the AFC, it's a bunch of teams bottled up. They have a chance to make the playoffs better with Joe Flacco than Anthony Richardson. Nick Sirianni. The Eagles ain't gonna go nowhere, bro, until they get a real coach. Simply put, you can't be jawing with the fans. The Eagles will not go where they need to go until they get a real coach. It was one clip that we saw when they went to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts had to basically hold Nick Sirianni back. He's going at it with somebody. He's going talking like he was being Nick Sirianni. He was being a dummy.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts had to hold him back. You can't win when your coach is focused on other things. You just can't win. I like the Eagles. I like the roster that they have, but there's a problem in Philadelphia. Definitely a problem in Philadelphia. My next takeaway, we go back to the Chargers and the Broncos. I like ground and pound. Again, I'm not disagreeing with you. I do think they should throw the ball a little bit more with Justin Herbert. But again, for me, this team is not a Super Bowl contending team. I will say this. The best chance they do have of being a Super Bowl contending team is running the ball and playing defense. And I like that with Jim Harbaugh. Herbert threw the ball 34 times. That's about right. I mean, anywhere between 30 and 35 times for me.
I like that.
Anything after that is a little bit, you throwing the ball a little bit too much because now balls can get tipped, can get intercepted, etc. My last takeaway, Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, Joshua Walker, Timothy Adams. The Las Vegas Raiders don't have a quarterback. And if I was them, they're going to trade Devontae Adams at some point. They need to Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, Shedeur Sanders, whatever quarterback they like, they need to fall in love with him and draft him. So Antonio Pierce, Mark Davis, that organization can have a quarterback. And they can do what they need to do. If you don't have a quarterback in the AFC, you don't have a chance. The Raiders don't have a quarterback. We all knew that going into the season. It was solidified. It's week 6, and they already benched Gardner Minshew, who wasn't playing terrible, but they just don't have a spunk. They really don't have any offense without Devontae Adams. So the Raiders don't have a quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. Going to take a quick break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. Tim, man, this NFL season is going by so fast. It is already week 7.
Crazy.
Bro.
This might be the fastest the NFL season in college might be the fastest seasons out of
I,
all sports. I mean,
I know,
it
bro. It
probably
just
is if you think about it, because the NBA 82 games. So I mean, it makes sense, but it really feel like it'd be flying, like for real.
it does. It does. It does. First game we're gonna go over in week 7 is the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings. Sunday at 1:00. This game is on. I have it here right here. This game is on Fox. 1:00 Sunday on Fox. Who you like?
So this game right here should be at this point of the season. This should be the best game of the year from a style standpoint, from an offensive defensive standpoint. This should be game of the year. Y'all know lately I've been taking naps on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't like the football, but this should be one of those games where though I shouldn't have to move too much but commercials. You know what I'm saying? This should be a good game. So I know Detroit just took a tough loss with Aiden Hutchinson. That does I know that will sway a lot of picks. It will definitely sway the point spread. I'm sure this point spread will. I know it was a pick 'em game. It might still be a pick 'em, but
Minnesota's favored by 2.5.
yeah. So it went up. It already went up a point, right? So man, I told y'all Detroit looked dangerous, man, offensively, man. Like the chess match between Detroit offense and the Vikings defense with Flores, I'ma love just that aspect of the game. Like that's what I really want to see. Like what are the Lions going to do to get Flores and them not flustered, but get them like a little uncomfortable? What do they see? Like I want to see that game plan. Like I know people watch the game just to see highlights and things. I like to see like, oh, they was in the film room. They saw this, and that's why they ran this and certain things like that. So I watch football a little different than everybody. So that's why I think some of y'all think my taste a little unconventional, but I watch it a little differently. So with that being said, man, Vikings they coming off a bye. So I think coming off a bye and get rested and rejuvenated in the game is at home. And yeah, I didn't play good the week before versus Jets at London. So now you back to your regular routine. Give me the Vikings at home, and I think it's a game of the year candidate. I think defensively, they're going to frustrate Jared Goff enough where as though they win the game. So give me the Vikings.
You like the Vikings at home. Before I make my pick, I just want to give a shout out to the NFC North. The Vikings are 5-0. The Lions are 4-1. The Packers are 4-2. The Bears are 4-2. Ladies and gentlemen, we thought that the AFC North was going to be the best divisions. Some of us thought the AFC East with the Bills and the Jets and the Dolphins before Tua got hurt. Thought that was going to be the best division. Obviously, I mentioned the AFC North. The best division of football is the black and blue NFC. They used to call it the NFC Central, but it's the NFC North. This is the best division by far. It's not even close. The Vikings are undefeated. They are playing at home. They have a great defense. The Lions just lost Aiden Hutchinson. So the smart money is to take the Vikings. I like the Lions. Give me Jared Goff. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs. Give me David Montgomery. I'll take the Lions at home. I think the Vikings are due for a game today. The Vikings, in my opinion, should have lost to the Jets. It's just that the Jets, senior citizen quarterback, playing like a senior citizen quarterback. I don't think
Cap,
Jared. There you go.
Cap,
Couldn't
really?
wait to get that in. Cap. No, he playing like Cap. That's for damn certain, especially in that game. So I can't even argue with you on that. But I look at it as I'm gonna take the Lions in this game. I think the Lions have a little bit of momentum. I know it sounds crazy, but I think they'll have a little bit of energy and a little bit more momentum because they lost Aiden Hutchinson. This game is obviously for the division. You can make a case for the number 1 seed currently in the NFC. So give me the Lions on the road. Give me Jared Goff. When games happen like this, I always take the better quarterback. So give me Jared Goff over Sam Darnold. The next game that we're going to go over is the Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers. Both teams coming off a win. Houston won at New England. Green Bay won at home against Arizona. I'll start us off. I am going to take it's an upset to me. I'm trying to get the point. I'm actually pulling up the point spread now. So Green Bay is favored by 2.5. I actually thought Houston was favorite. I'm going to take Green Bay at home. I think Green Bay's defense is coming to play. I love the addition of Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator from Boston College. That defense is playing good. I have to give the Green Bay Packers credit. I watched them play Sunday. I watched them play against Arizona. If you know, when we talked about games, that was one of the games I wanted to pick last week was Arizona and Green Bay because I thought it was a quasi-elimination game. So I watched that game thoroughly. I've never seen a team play the run pass option against Kyler Murray better than what Green Bay played. They had a guy on the inside, they had a guy on the outside. So give me the Packers. I think that defense with all those first round picks are starting to show up and show out. Give me the Packers at home to beat C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans.
Yeah, so this game, so for NFL, man, the 3 games we about to preview, man, this might be the best slate, hopefully, of the NFL season so far. So the Packers seem to be getting on track, like you said. They're finally healthy at wide receiver. The offense look better. The only thing about the offense, man, Love has a turnover in each game he has played since he's been back. So that's a little concerning, just because my quarter, well, at least he ain't turned over this week. But Hurts seemed like he got a turnover problem as well. So that's a little concerning for me. So I'm gonna actually go with Texans, man. The Texans on the road, man. I think they get Joe Mixon going. Like the Packers defense, they are getting better, but they more of a like a bend but don't break right now. Like you can move the ball through the from the red zone to the red zone, but they stifle a little bit once you get in the red zone. So, but I think the Texans, man, I think they about to start separating themselves as one of the better teams in the AFC. I think Stephon Diggs has a Diggs game because if they if I think Jair Alexander is healthy, if they because they play a good bit of man, and Jair Alexander likes to talk a lot. Like he was talking to AJ Brown week 1, and then AJ Brown burnt them for 6. So like he talk Diggs one of them guys you talk to, he gonna wake up. So give me the Texans, man. I like the Texans on the road.
Should be a fascinating game Sunday at 1 o'clock. That game is on CBS. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wilson will be on the call. Should be a great game Sunday at 1 o'clock. The last game that we'll preview is a Super Bowl rematch. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last game that you saw, February of this year. Chiefs at 49, Sunday at 4:25. Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi on the call. Fox. Who you like?
So this game, right? So like you said, Super Bowl rematch. I feel like Kansas City isn't as good as they were last year, but like we praise them because they found ways to win, right? So in the NFL, like you win, you know what I'm saying? Just gotta find a way to win the game every week, right? So defensively they playing well, but offensively I still think it's like one thing I do like about how Andy Reid scheme, like they played the Saints last week. They had sets with 4 tight ends on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like he's doing stuff so innovative to make his team win the game. You know what I'm saying? Whereas though other coaches say you missing your top player or something, they can't function. It look like they don't even practice that week. They miss a players like Eagles was missing Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, bro. I was like, I don't even know what he called. Did they practice? So like that's one thing I will give Andy Reid and KFC, like Kansas City, like they got a mastermind schemer. But I think, man, the 49ers is turning the tables, man. I think they about to catch a run, man. So I'm taking the 49ers at home, man. I think they starting to figure some things out. They're getting a little healthier. I like the 49ers, man. Look for Fred Warner and that defense, man. They going to play some good ball. Give me the 49ers.
I'm agreeing with you, my brother. I like the 49ers too. I think the Chiefs are 5-0. 49ers are 3-3. This game in so many ways is more important to the 49ers. The Chiefs lose this game, it's fine. It's an NFC loss, doesn't really matter. The Chiefs, the 49ers want multiple they want redemption in so many ways. One, this is the team that ended their season 2 seasons in a row. You can't get Super Bowl revenge, but this is the closest thing to it. And I think the 49ers have maximized their opportunity, i.e. like the Detroit Lions did Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. They felt like they should have won a game last year in Dallas. They didn't. When they went back to Dallas, they put foot to ass, and they damn sure did. I don't think the 49ers will put foot to ass to the Chiefs, but I think the 49ers will win the game. Brock Purdy, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season. Over 1,600 yards, 1,629 to be exact. Mason, 114 carries, 609 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think the 49ers need to get that ground game going. The one thing that they missed with Christian McCaffrey is not only he's a great runner, but he's a great receiver too. They missed that element with their offense. Uh, Debo has been Debo. Juwan Jennings has been Juwan Jennings. They need Brandon Ayuk to finally step up. They need Brandon Ayuk to put the pen down. He already signed the contract, bro. Put the pen down and start catching the football. I think Brandon Ayuk could do that. So give me the 49ers at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. Before we go, Tim, let's play a quick game. We're not going to do playoff Melligans right now, but I'll ask you every division in the NFL, and you give me right now who you think is the favorite in every division. We'll start with
Okay.
AFC. AFC East. Who's your favorite right now in the East?
Bills.
I am constructively obligated to stay with the Jets until I see otherwise, so I have to stick with the Jets. AFC North.
Ravens.
I agree. I think the Ravens are the best team. AFC South.
That's the Titans and Colts and them. Titans, Colts.
Jaguars, and Texans.
Oh, Texans. My bad. Texans.
We agree. Texas. AFC West.
Chargers. Chargers. That's if they keep the same formula, y'all. If they go back to ground and pound 40 and 20, I don't like them at all. So put that put that stipulation in there. If they keep the same, like of course the balance ain't gonna be 34 every time, but if they keep it relatively close, give me the Chargers. If they go back to JD ground and pound, nah, give me Kansas City. Give me Kansas City.
All right. Kansas City is the best team in that division, but the Chargers can be a formidable second place team if they can ground and pound and run the ball. NFC East, who's the best team in that division currently?
Eagles going to win that division.
Say
it. Eagles going to win the division. The Commanders look good, but the flaws, them flaws that they had, got exposed versus the Ravens. So you could throw on them. So Eagles gonna win that division.
Yeah, fly Eagles, fly. They're the best team in that division. NFC North, who's the best team in that division?
Vikings. The what's the name? The Packers playing some good ball lately, but love turning it over too much for me right now. Like he got a lot of bad interceptions, bad reads. So I'm gonna go. And the Vikings defense is better, so I'm gonna go Vikings.
I'm gonna take the Packers. I think the Packers got slightly better defense than the Vikings, and I think Jordan Love is better overall totality than Sam Darnold. But I will agree with you. Jordan Love got to get that turnover itch out of his body. He got to, hey bro, you got a patch, take that motherfucker off. You got to stop turning the ball over because you know this, bro. In the playoffs, one turnover can cost you a game.
Yeah.
NFC West. Who's the best team in that division?
I know you've been getting on them, but I think they're going to figure out a way to win it, man. The 49ers, the Cardinals sometimes, the Rams too banged up. They might be out of it by the time everybody get back.
And Seattle, we don't trust. We don't trust them.
Yeah. Gino lost me throwing for 18 interceptions on his birthday.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Right now, and I'm not copping out, I still don't think the 49ers, I think someone will find a way to win that division other than the 49ers, but I can't tell a lie. Right now, they are the best team. I don't trust Seattle. Let me say this, and you don't know this. The reason why I wanted to talk about Arizona and Green Bay, I wanted to see Arizona after a big win at San Francisco. How can you stack wins? In fact, Kevin. I'm sorry, Kevin. Not the one we had on it, but the other one. I told him I like Arizona to beat Green Bay. They had no chance. The game was over from the jump. Terrible. So I'm taking the 49ers right now, but I need somebody to make me look good to come and win that division. In the last division, it should be good. Who's the best team in the NFC South?
Atlanta, man, my favorite cousin, man. My favorite cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the defense is opportunistic. I'm not going to their defense not lights out good, but they opportunistic. They gonna get one of them turnovers. They gonna get a tip ball. They gonna figure out something. Just like versus Carolina. If you watch that game was pretty close until they got a turn. You know what I'm saying? So they just figure out how to get a turnover at the right time. So I'm gonna go Atlanta. I'm not knocking the Bucks. Like I like Baker Mayfield. I just don't trust Baker Mayfield. Like I like him. Like don't get me wrong. Shorty got hot and all that because I thought he was knocked out the game. Sunday. Like I thought they knocked him out the game. He came back. He actually had one of my favorite plays of the day. The boy came back. Bucky Irvin ran one way, then ran all the way down. And guess who
Block for Bucky
got it?
Irvin.
That's who made the lead block. Like stuff like that is like little intangibles that like teams rally behind. So like that's why I think like he definitely went over that locker room. I mean, he's definitely a great leader and all that. I just don't trust him all the way yet.
Can I ask you a question? Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know who I think the best team in this division is. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I will say the Falcons beat them in overtime. Me and my compadre, we had a conversation off air while we was on break. I think the Falcons, some of their wins are luck, and that's a good thing. It doesn't mean that you're a bad team. I just think when you got luck going your way, that's a good thing. But I think Tampa Bay is a better team.
Question real quick.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
What's the I believe more in like fluky. What's the difference
Okay.
between fluke and luck? Would you say if you got a different definition, or would you say they the same thing? Go ahead.
I'll give an example. I think the Cowboys beating the Steelers was a fluke because I think the Steelers are a better team than the Cowboys.
Okay.
I think that the Falcons beating the Eagles was luck. They had some things work in their favor because the Eagles didn't clock management. Saquon dropped the pass, all that. I think the Falcons beating the Bucks were luck. I know you disagree on this, but Bucky Irvin fumbling the ball. Like, bro, your job is to hold on to the ball. Just hold on. Bucky Irvin had the first down. Even the thing about it like this, if he would have ran to the first down and fell down, the game's probably over. So you need, like, and you know this, and I know this as a Tom Brady fan, you need things to go your way. Against Atlanta in the Super Bowl, Brady needed a sack against Matt Ryan. Brady needed incomplete pass to Gabriel on third down so he can get the ball back. So to me, that's the difference of what was the word you used?
Fluke.
Fluke. That's the difference of fluke and luck. But to me, I think Tampa Bay is the best team in this division. I think they have the best quarterback in this division. You said that you don't trust Baker Mayfield. You trust Kirk Cousins? I don't. I never have. That's fine.
I do.
I do.
I think he gets a bad rep for like see, I don't want to belabor too long, but I think he gets a bad rep because they do like them prime time game stats, not stats, but they just show your record, right? But like just showing me somebody prime time record doesn't show me what he did or what he didn't do. So say he went 20 for 29, 275, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Like why? You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like they don't say more about the game. They just say, "Oh, his prime." Like for instance, right? Joe Burrow record versus Lamar Jackson, right? Y'all told me he's now 1-5, right? But we just watched that last game, right? Joe Burrow wasn't the reason why. That's what I be saying. Like people would just throw a record at you and just say, "Oh, he's not good." But like Joe Burrow has a 500-yard pass. They said everybody was injured, right? He has a 400-yard passing game versus the Ravens, and he has a 392-yard passing game. So to me, he's lighting the Ravens up. So it's more, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it'd be more than the story than their knowledge. Like I feel like Kirk gets one of them bad reps.
No, I can see that. I just don't trust Kirk Cousins for me because this is just me. I just think Baker Mayfield is better. That's just me. I've always thought that. I've always felt that way. I never thought Baker Mayfield didn't have the weapons that he had to need to be successful until he got to Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. Kirk Cousins had Stephon Diggs and he had Justin Jefferson in Minnesota. Who was he at? He might not have had the best weapons in Washington, but he had weapons. I felt like Kirk Cousins had weapons in Minnesota. So my point is that now he has weapons with the Falcons. So for me, I just think Baker's the best quarterback in that division. I think the best non-quarterback player in that division is Antoine Winfield. And Tampa Bay just got their best safety back. So I just think Tampa's the best team in that division. But as you see, and everything in sports, man, we give our predictions and give our opinions, but time will tell. So we definitely gonna find out who will be the teams in this teams that'll make the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, in the next few weeks, me and Tim will give our playoff mulligans for college football and the NFL. So you guys should stay forward, stay forward and look for that. That should definitely be fun. Want to thank you guys for watching this episode of Highly Opinionated. For the best producer in the game, Ross. For the best co-host in the game, Tim. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Tim's a coach. I went to his game last week. They run the ball. They ground and pound. They play defense. It's crazy how he gets mad at the black man. The black coach for running the ball. He's the coach. He doesn't want to run the ball now. It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy. For the best co-host in the game, Tim, I'm merely Josh. We want to thank you guys for watching. We out. We'll see you guys next week.
Appreciate y'all.